Hello everybody, and thank you for clicking by on my YouTube channel today. Many of you have been commenting on my other YouTube channel videos. I can leave it up here, talking about what it's like studying fashion in the UK and how to get scholarship and what it's like to study fashion and all of that stuff. So to get more details about it, I will leave it up here and also down in the description box, and also sending me messages on Instagram. Many of you are international students and are planning on studying in the UK, so I thought of making this video since you are asking me many questions and thought it will help you. So what you're probably wondering about, so why did I choose to study in the UK? I am originally from Norway, but my mother's side and my mother, she's from the UK, but I'm born and raised in Norway. I chose to study in the UK because that felt the safest for me, since that I have family there and that I also know the country a bit more. But I also really wanted to study in Paris and in Spain, the other fashion capitals, and also Tokyo. But I felt that I had to know the language, just because there's a lot of legal stuff like papers. Studying in the UK would be much more easier with lessons and accommodations and all of that tricky stuff that I will be talking about in this video. And also another reason for why I wanted to study in the UK is also when I visited all of the universities in the UK that I wanted to study in. The school is based on a lot of international students, and since there was a lot of international students there from before, meant that I would probably like to study there as well. If you have ever been in London, you'll see that it's a very diverse city. Many are studying here. This is naturally a very good city to be in London, and a good place to stay and a good place to study. And also the UK, really good city to study for higher education. Really good universities and well-known universities in the whole world, hence why there are many international students, of course. And also the universities are known worldwide, and you can also gain an international connection. Also, if you want to travel to different places and see other places, it's good to get that connection also. Two peas in a pod. And when I was visiting the school, I also talked about, do I have to get equipment for books and computers and Adobe programs, because mine is a creative course and I use a lot of computer programming, and how do I have to buy that by myself or do you provide it? And in school they have computers, MacBooks provided, and you can also loan them from the school and take them home with you, 24-hour loan. So a lot of students, they go to school and do their work there, and then plug it in a USB and then save their work. And for books, you can also, all the books that you will need are in the library, so you can loan them there, you can read them there, and you just have to be in advance for loaning them. There wasn't any problem of not getting a book that I needed. And they also provided online research, if I wasn't a student I had to pay for myself. All of that you would need for school, they provide you. Compared to Norway, you have to get everything by yourself, so that's a really big plus for studying in the UK. Where to apply? As everybody who are studying in the UK, you have to apply through an online platform called UCAS, and I can leave it down in the description box below, and you just have to follow all the instructions to applying for all the universities. All the universities and courses are listed in UCAS, so you have to apply through there, and there you will also get notified if you're qualified of getting into that university, or if you have to provide additional documents to get into that course. Since you're an international student, you most likely probably have to take an English test, English certificate, IELTS test. There are other certificates you can also get, but you have to check that on the UCAS website, and you also probably have to do an interview or portfolio, and most importantly, personal statement letter. And if you want me to make a video specific on personal statement letter, you can write to me in the description box, so I know that you are interested in that kind of video. So on to the pros. There's a lot of good things that you can do in the UK, in London, since it's a very multicultural city. A lot of things to experience, a lot of things to discover, and it is just good if you like festivals, music, concerts, movies, art, fashion, and everything. It's just like a really good city. Another really great thing is that all the universities are really well known worldwide because there are a lot of international students. When I have applied for a job, many know about the school. I think that's a really good plus that you have studied in another country than your own, and that you have tried something new and that you're up for challenges also. Oh, and another good thing is studying in the UK, a lot of good food as well. So if you're a foodie, that's the best place to go and eat food. It's such a good variety of food, and they have like Chinatown, and they have like a lot of good Korean, Asian food, and they have like all different kinds of food. They have every food from every nationality. They even have food for like Norwegians and Scandinavian people as well. They have everything to meet your needs. There's a lot of positive things from going to London, and that's why I chose to study in London, obviously. But I think that you should definitely go there. If you have the money and you have the time, please go there. Please go and see a university and go and see the city, so you know more what you have to dive into. So I highly recommend that, so you can kind of get to feel how it is living there. So the cons. This depends on where you're from and what weather climate you are. For me, it's really good weather there since I'm coming from northern part of the world, as you can say. So I live in Norway. It's very cold and the weather is really bad. In the winter time, you have the littlest of sun you'll ever get anywhere in the world, I would say. So I'm pretty used to really bad weather, and I really like the weather compared to Norway, obviously. But if you're from a warmer country, this may not be the right thing for you because there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of gloomy weather, a lot of like cloudy weather, and sometimes in the winter time it can snow a little bit, but not that much. In the summer you can get really good weather as well. I really like the weather in London. It's really good actually compared to what I'm used to. Another con is homesickness. Since you're from foreign countries and you're traveling away from all your friends and family, you maybe will be stumbling into homesickness and missing your family and friends. And one way to combat that is to join the Freshers Week, to get friends, and to also join societies, and also try to meet people from your own country as well. I am very lucky to have a girl in my class that is from Oslo, from my place in Norway. But if that's not the case, I would definitely try to join societies where you probably have some interest in, so you can get friends there. For example, if you're interested in musicals, you will find people that have the same interest as you are, and just join societies and find you're interested and find your people there. And also join the Freshers Week to also find and get connections. I know it can be hard to just like stay inside and don't want to socialize as much, but just try the best to just socialize and take every opportunity that you can to just get friends, because it will help you in the long term. Another con is the high expenses on the accommodation. It's so expensive on accommodation. London is especially really expensive, and I don't even want to talk about it because it's so expensive. So most of my half or over half of my earning goes to expenses on accommodations, of having a space to live and have your own space to be. I can talk a lot about accommodation, how to process, how to find accommodation, and how to get an accommodation. I can talk all about that in another video if you're interested. You can either find your own accommodation, but another way you can do is student accommodation. There you can bond with the people from your own university. First year, I really recommend you to go and do the student accommodation for experience, and also especially when you're traveling from a foreign country, you don't know that many people. Living in a student accommodation, you will be more connected to the school and to the university and to your friends. So the living expenses in the UK, I would say compared to Norway, there is cheaper food and groceries, but it's pricier on the cost of commute, paying for tubes, and that's the main way that you can travel around London, is to go and buy the tube. And something that you have to consider when moving there as well, that you're traveling a lot by tube. So a normal budget for a student would be to pay firstly the accommodation, because that's really expensive, and also the bills for like electricity, Wi-Fi. If I could go back and change something, I would have that included in the bill, because then you don't have to think about paying that as well. Then it's the commute prices, that's really high, and then it is your groceries, and then it's all of the other things. So on to the tips. Prepare in advance. Prepare 6 or 1 year ahead for going. Since it's in a foreign country, be sure that this is what you want to do, this is the place you want to go and study, and also come in with an open mind, but be cautious of what lies ahead. So that also ties in with preparing. And also, when you're moving to another country, there's a lot of things you have to think about regarding the legal side, like banking, visa, and work, and also sort out your health insurance as well. So all of that, I would look into that before you go, and there's a lot of paperwork that are required to get a bank account and get a visa, so I would check that very individually depending on where you're from, because it makes it much more easier for you when you are there, so you are prepared and that you have all your documents ready, so that you can just go and apply and go straight away. I think that was all. If you have any further questions, you can always DM me on my Instagram, or you can write to me in the comments section below in my YouTube channel, and I will try to help you out as best as I can. I have a list of other videos that I think that will help you when looking at schools. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.
No, you don't want me here. Well, that's just too bad. Go